What's happening, Fisher? And welcome back to Pasa. I'm your host, Kydian Suarez. In celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month, my guest today will be Anthony Rodriquez. Anthony is currently the principal of Anna Marie Douglas Academy in the Rochester City School District. He's also a double cardinal and was recognized last year with the Dean's Medal. Stay with me, I'll be right back with the interview. Welcome back. I'm here with Anthony Rodriquez. Hi.
Hi there.
So, Anthony, tell us a little bit about your academic journey here at Fisher and what motivated you to go through your graduate process.
So, from my understanding, I'm considered a double cardinal. I got my undergraduate degree down in Miami from Florida International University. But when I moved up here to Western New York, I definitely was asking what's the best school reputation-wise when it comes to urban education. So I was able to choose St. John Fisher to get my master's in social studies and special ed. That was my first graduate degree. And then obviously after being a teacher for a few years in the Rochester City School District, and when I decided to become an administrator, it was an easy choice to go back to St. John Fisher to get my master's degree in leadership.
You mentioned a little bit about your double experience. Obviously, you got 2 different times you were here. So can you think of any experience here at Fisher, and how have you applied them at your time at the district?
Really excited of the people that I've met here at St. John Fisher. A lot of my adult friends, or my friends still in my life today, are people that I met when going through my first master's program. I also really appreciate always the support that I receive from staff. Those of you that are education majors will know Allison Bosworth. She's the person who put you in your placement for student teaching when you do your internship to be a teacher. So it was thanks to her that I actually got placed in the school that I ended up working at for almost 15 years, which was James Monroe High School. So I've always appreciated her, and when I see her, I kind of thank her for putting me at James Monroe High School, because it's definitely led to the successful career that I've had.
Well, I gotta relay the message to her. So, as you mentioned before, you started as a teacher and continued to work your way up through the district. Tell us a little bit about your career path.
So again, I started student teaching as a St. John Fisher University student. At the time it was St. John Fisher College. I got really lucky. I was sent to James Monroe High School, and the first day that I was walking around the campus, I started noticing Jennifer Lopez and Oscar De La Hoya posters. And the teacher that I was doing my internship with, her name was Miss Gutierrez, and she was just talking to me in Spanish the entire time. And I thought, oh, maybe because I'm Mr. Rodriguez, she just wants to bond with the culture. And when we got to her classroom, I asked, oh, what unit, what chapter are we doing right now? What am I going to have to teach kids? She handed me the textbooks, and they were all in Spanish. And I was like, I thought this was social studies. To which she said, yeah, it's social studies in Spanish. And that's when basically it all clicked. James Monroe High School has a huge Latino population at their school, specifically English language learners that are learning English as a second language. So yeah, I finished that year as an intern learning how to teach social studies in Spanish, and they brought me back the following year, and then I became the bilingual social studies teacher at James Monroe High School for the next 6 years.
That's a very nice surprise. Did you expect it at all?
I did not expect it. I'm from South Florida, right? So I'm used to Spanglish and Latino culture being everywhere around me. I did not realize that Monroe High School was a bilingual school until that very moment. So when I asked Ms. Bosworth, oh, were you aware of this? She was like, yeah, you put on your resume bilingual. So I sent you to Monroe High School.
Oh, so she set you up for success.
That's why I always thank her, and I've always told people, right, those placements are important, and she does a great job of putting you in the right fit.
That's true. So, as an assistant principal at the Monroe High School, you assist the Pathway to Civil Biliteracy program, and with your help, the school became a New York State Civil Biliteracy leader in the Western New York. Can you talk a little bit about the program and why is it so crucial for Monroe High School to reach that goal?
So as a bilingual social studies teacher, I always saw the struggles that my English language learner students had, and kind of not feeling like it was being celebrated all the time, the things that they were overcoming in order to graduate, which was passing the ELA Regents exam. So the Seal by Literacy is actually a national recognition that each state has their own criteria for. and the New York State Seal by Literacy was something that as a teacher, I was so excited that it was going to happen because I felt like it was an opportunity for not only Latinos, but anybody who speaks a different language, a second language, could kind of like show and make a point of, I know a second language and these are my accomplishments. So when I became an administrator, it happened to be at the same time that this initiative became statewide. So it was great to be able to see students that I was formerly their teacher, now their administrator, my colleagues that were teachers, now as their supervisor, being able to guide the school on a pathway of let's make sure our students are receiving the recognition they deserve for all the great work that they're accomplishing that proves that they're proficient both in English and in Spanish. Or again, you could be proficient in any other language. Monroe just happened to have a lot of graduates where Spanish was their second language.
That's true. And as a Seal by Literacy holder myself, I can testify that that is one of the proudest achievement you can get because you are being recognized from a part of you. Like I'm recognized for the language I know as a Latina and for the language I learned because I came here. So thank you for helping with that. I'm thanking you as a student. And so in 2022, you served as the summer school principal for the Rochester City School District program at the Fisher campus. So this past summer, the district came back to campus, but the program was a little bit more different. So can you tell us about the Acceleration University?
So our first summer here, summer of 2022, the majority of the students were students that were going to either graduate at the end of summer school or get back on track for graduation. And after talking to Dr. Maples, the Dean of Education, and some of the leaders in the Rochester City School District, we thought it would be an important opportunity if we could expose more children or more students to the St. John Fisher campus, not necessarily the summer before they graduate, but getting them before they start high school so they can kind of see what the light at the end of the tunnel or what the goal is, which is being at a four-year university. So the redesign of the program called Acceleration University was an idea that students will come here in the summer before 9th grade and take classes for high school credit. So every class that students took was for high school credit, putting them on a fast track to not only early graduation, but just exposure to higher level content. One of the things that we were really, really proud of was there were a lot of classes in the Rochester City School catalog that students could not attend until they finished prereqs. So these were like classes like Latino Studies, African American History, History of Hip Hop, Creative Writing, Urban Poetry. These are all classes that you normally couldn't take until you were in 12th grade. We were able to have students enroll for these classes as 8th graders going into 9th grade. So kind of giving them this idea of that school can be fun, giving them content that they like, along with Algebra 1 Regents, U.S. History Regents, and Earth Science, which all of these classes end in a Regents exam. So some of our students left Acceleration University with 1 or 2 Regents exams done, where they're starting high school that much closer to graduation.
And I can say that I feel like it's a good program because it also gives them like a little peek of what they're going to experience if they decide to go to university instead of just simply throwing them. Like I feel that's a program with a lot of people when they come to like dropping out and stuff like that is because they're not expecting the university or colleges to be so different from high school.
One of the, I think the real cool features that I credit St. John Fisher University and makes me a proud alumni was the fact that we had what was called enrichment. And during enrichment, it was led by Fisher alumni or Fisher staff. So our students, for 45 minutes every day, got the opportunity to listen to a professor or a staff member kind of talk about how to navigate through college or what different degrees they might want to pursue. The goal at the end of summer was that students could actually choose one of the 5 schools at St. John Fisher University, right? The School of Business, School of Nursing, School of Pharmacy, School of Ed, or the School of Science and Arts, and basically let Fisher know, I want to continue receiving emails and invites from that particular school because they had been exposed to all the different majors they could have, all the different careers they could have. So a lot of students who left Acceleration University, their mindset of what college is for or which college they want to go to definitely changed.
That's so nice. So now you're a principal at Anthony Rodriquez School number 12. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
So can you talk a little bit about your new role? What are you bringing to the table?
It's definitely different, right? It's more of a job of being a leader and really maintaining the good systems they already had. School 12 has a great reputation in the city. I'm especially proud of their OLA program. They are known as a dual language school, which is a little bit different than bilingual education in other schools. In a dual language track, students that are not necessarily speaking Spanish at home can learn Spanish. And the idea is by the time that they're done with 6th grade or 8th grade at School 12, after starting there since kindergarten, they're truly bilingual, having gone through a dual language program. So I think that's right up my alley as someone who's a proud Latino, proud of being bilingual. I love that I'm able to share that skill or that heritage, not only with other Latino students, but non-Latino students that want to learn Spanish. So I'm very excited to now be the new leader at School 12 and maintain those traditions that have made School 12, known as Anna Marie Douglas Academy, continue to be a leader in the city.
What would you say to students who are watching this and preparing for their careers? If you were back in their shoes, what would you like to have been told?
If you're an active Fisher student right now, you definitely want to keep those connections, right? Your classmates are people that are later going to probably be your professional peers. I feel like those networks are important. People always look out for you. And then at the same time, we're here paying tuition, all right? We're collecting loan debt. Listen to the adults and the staff that are here that do have your best interests in heart. They've seen other students go through what you're going through. So my recommendation is always listen to that staff, listen to those mentors. They know what they're talking about.
Well, you heard it from our double cardinal. Thank you, Anthony, so much for joining us today and sharing your story. And thank you for watching this episode. We'll see you next time in Que Pasa.
Thank you for having me.